안녕하세요. Essential Korean K-쌤입니다. In this episode, we'll cover one of the question words which I believe is long overdue. I use the word overdue because we had an episode 3, on basic questions such as 뭐예요? What is it? 언제예요? When is it? 어디예요? Where is it? 누구예요? Who is it? And 얼마예요? How much is it? Yet, it is not until today's episode 51, that I introduced the crucial question word 몇. Today, we'll delve into this critical question word and learn how to use it by first discussing some key concepts and then practicing them with situational examples. Thus, by the end of this episode, you'll be able to comprehend and use various questions with this question word, 몇, and level of your Korean. So, without further ado, let's get started. To understand the usage of the question word 몇, we first need to explore the concept of a classifier or counter in Korean. In most cases, the classifier or counter will stick with either the Korean number system or Sino-Korean numerical system, though there are exceptions where classifiers follow both. We learn them as they come, but remember, beyond 99, all will follow Sino-Korean numbers since the Korean numbers exist only from 1 through 99. Turning back to the topic, the classifier or counter denotes the type of an item under discussion. Thus, even if the item is not explicitly or specifically mentioned, we can at least infer the category or type of the referred item based on its classifier. For instance, the classifier for people is 명, and it follows a Korean number. So to say 5 people, we say 다섯 명, where 다섯 is 5, followed by 명, the classifier for people. 다섯 명 indicates that there are 5 people, but it doesn't reveal what type of people, right? The type of people, which I would label as subcategory, should precede 다섯 명. For example, to express 5 students, the word for student 학생 precedes the number plus 명 unit. Thus, 학생 다섯 명 is the phrase for saying 5 students in Korean, where 학생 signifies student, 다섯 means 5, and 명 is the classifier for people. 학생 다섯 명, 5 students. Here's another example. To say 10 Korean people in Korean, we would say 한국 사람 10명, in which 한국 사람 represents Korean person or people, 열 means 10, and 명 is the classifier for people. One more example. 마리 is the counter for animals. Thus, 다섯 마리 represents 5 of an animal. We don't know which animal, but we are certain that we are discussing 5 of some type of animal. If you wish to specify that it's 5 puppies, you would begin with 강아지, the Korean word for puppies, followed by 다섯 마리. Therefore, 강아지 다섯 마리 translates to 5 puppies in Korean. Now, this is an opportune time to stop and talk about how the question word 몇 is used. If you wish to know the number of students in a certain situation, then the question word 몇 will replace where the number is. So, I want you to visualize placing the question word 몇 into the spot where the word 다섯 was in the phrase 학생 다섯 명, and say 학생 몇 명이에요, where 학생 stands for student, 몇 is the question word inquiring for a number, and 명 is the counter for people, along with the verb 이에요, which is the identification verb meaning is. The question 학생 몇 명이에요? Seeks to identify the number of students. Please repeat this question after me to find out the number of students. I'll say it slowly and then gradually increase the speed and natural pronunciation. In the first round, I'll lead you with the English before saying each Korean phrase. Student, 학생, how many people? 몇 명 is 이에요. 학생 몇 명이에요. 학생 몇 명이에요. 학생 몇 명이에요. Now the entire question. 학생 몇 명이에요? Very good. By the way, a note on pronunciation here. Did you notice that 몇 명 became 몇 명 in pronunciation? Yes, there's a slight discrepancy between the spelling and pronunciation, as we see in many other cases. It's not that if you say 몇 명 as opposed to 몇 명 that people won't understand you, so don't worry too much about perfection. But I've noted the discrepancy because I know many learners grapple with how words are spelled and how they're pronounced in colloquial speech. Let's take it one step at a time, and soon you will start to see patterns, and in turn, they become second nature. Now, let's move to the next question. How would you discover the number of Koreans in the group you and your colleagues are discussing? You are correct if you said 한국 사람 몇 명 있어요? Where 한국 사람 represents Korean people. 몇 is the question word followed by a classifier to determine a number. And 명 is the classifier for people. Repeat after me to ask how many Korean people there are. 한국 사람 몇 명 있어요 is pronounced 있어요. 한국 사람 몇 명 is pronounced 몇 명 있어요. 한국 사람 몇 명 있어요? 한국 사람 몇 명 있어요? Let's introduce a new classifier with this phrase. 다섯 잔. 다섯 means five and 잔 is the classifier for glasses or cups. So as soon as you hear 다섯 잔, we know the speaker is discussing 5 glasses or cups of something served in a cup or glass. If you're talking about 5 cups of coffee, what would you say? You are right if you said 커피 다섯 잔. Keep 다섯 잔 as is and add 커피 for coffee at the beginning to specifically mention 5 cups of coffee. What if you want to say 5 glasses of wine in Korean? You are correct again if you said 와인 다섯 잔. Not too hard, right? Now let's work backwards. Let's say the number of coffee cups is in question and you want to know how many cups of coffee there are. Try creating the question yourself. Remember, we said 커피 다섯 잔 for 5 cups of coffee. If you said 커피 몇 잔이에요, placing 몇 into the spot where the number word 5 was in 커피 다섯 잔, you are right on. Repeat this question after me to ask how many cups of coffee there are. 커피 몇 잔이에요? 커피 몇 잔이에요? 커피 몇 잔이에요? Very nice. Now, let's cover how to say a number of glasses of wine. How would you ask how many glasses of wine people drink? Yes, the question word 몇 takes the place where the number word 5 in 와인 5잔 is, and we get 와인 몇 잔. By adding the verb 마셔요, we have the question which asks how many glasses of wine someone drinks. 와인 몇 잔 마셔요? Please repeat after me to ask the question yourself. I'll lead you with the English before Korean in the first round. 와인 how many glasses? 몇 잔? drink 마셔요. 와인 몇 잔 마셔요? 와인 몇 잔 마셔요? Excellent. By the way, if I ask you the question, 와인 몇 잔 마셔요? What would your answer be? If you're not a wine drinker, you would say, 와인 안 마셔요. If you drink one glass, you would say, 와인 한 잔 마셔요. If you drink 2 glasses, you would say, 와인 두 잔 마셔요. If you drink 1 or 2 glasses, you would say, 한두 잔 마셔요. 한두 잔 마셔요. So, here's the question again. 와인 몇 잔 마셔요? What is your answer? Let me hear you say it. Alright, so in summary, if your answer you're seeking requires a number, you can first use the question word 몇 and add the classifier assigned to the item involved. 몇 명 for the number of people, 몇 잔 for the number of glasses or cups, 몇 시 for the hour, 몇 마리 for the number of animals, and now a few new ones. 몇 월 for which month, 몇 회 for the number of episodes for K-drama fans, 몇 분 for the number of people like 몇 명, but this is the honorific version of 몇 명. Now let's move on to some situational examples. First, we'll start with a restaurant setting where we can use the question word 몇 with different classifiers. Imagine that you and 3 colleagues of yours just arrived at a nice Korean barbecue restaurant to celebrate your promotion. Congratulations! 축하해요! The host greets you with a smile and says, 어서 오세요. Here, 어서 means in a hurry, and 오세요 means come in the honorific level. Its literal meaning is come in a hurry, but its pragmatic meaning corresponds to a warm welcome. After 어서 오세요, the restaurant host asks this. 몇 분이세요? 몇 is the question word, followed by 분, which is the classifier for people. You might wonder about the difference between 명, which we just learned as a classifier for people, and 분. The latter is the honorific counter of 명, so we should use 분 when stating the number of people to whom one should express deference. In the context of this restaurant scene, using the honorific classifier 분 is the appropriate choice by the host serving customers. Also note that 이에요, which means is or are in 몇 명이에요, is replaced by its honorific counterverb bun-iseyo to make the question completely and appropriately honorific. It's only appropriate for a restaurant host or servers to use honorifics when talking to their customers or clients. With that in mind, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the host and ask how many people are in the party you are about to seat. 몇 분 분이세요? 몇 분이세요? 몇 분이세요? You are now the guest. How would you respond to this question? Remember that there are 4 of you and 3 colleagues. Yes, to indicate that there are 4 people, you will say 4명요. 4 means 4, 명 is the people classifier, and 요 at the end makes the phrase polite. Let's do a little role play. I, as the host, will ask you how many are in your party. Please answer my question, providing the number of people in your party, which is 4. 몇 분이세요? Did you say 4명요? If you did, excellent job again. Now, imagine your host leading you to a table with a great view of Seoul. How nice. Now it's time to order. Since you're here to celebrate your promotion and everyone knows you prefer wine over beer or soju, you all look at the wine list for today's alcoholic beverage. No one in your party is a heavy drinker, so you go to the buy the glass section and find they only have house wine. Someone suggests getting 4 glasses of house wine. House wine 4잔 어때요? Here, house wine means, of course, house wine. 네 means 4. Now, if you're wondering why not net, 네 is the form to use for 4 when there is a classifier following it. 잔 is a classifier for glasses or cups. And finally, 어때요 means how about or how is. Putting all the phrases together, we have how about 4 glasses of house wine in Korean. House wine 4잔 어때요? Repeat after me to suggest 4 glasses of house wine. 하우스 와인 4잔 어때요? 하우스 와인 4잔 어때요? 하우스 와인 4잔 어때요? Then, one of your colleagues suggests getting a bottle of wine instead, since it will be cheaper to do that than getting 4 separate glasses. 그냥 와인 한 병 어때요? Where 그냥 means just, 와인 of course means wine, 한 means one. By the way, 한 is the form to use in place of 하나 for one when there is a classifier following it. Just like we used 네 in place of net in 4잔 to say 4 glasses earlier, when there is a classifier attached. And finally, 어때요 means how is or how about. Thus, putting all 5 parts together, 그냥 와인 한 병 어때요? Suggests how about just a bottle of wine. Please repeat after me to suggest getting a bottle of wine in place of 4 glasses. I'll lead you with English before each word in the first round. Just, 그냥, wine, 와인, one, 한, the classifier for bottles, 병, how is or how about, 어때요? 그냥 와인 한 병 어때요? 그냥 와인 한 병 어때요? 그냥 와인 한 병 어때요? So, after deciding on your wine, it's time to pick out the meat for your barbecue. By the way, I won't make things complicated today with the extensive list of different options of beef, and pork meat you can find at Korean barbecue restaurants in Korea. Today, I'll just introduce you to 등심 and 안심, loin and tenderloin, respectively. As you glance at the menu, your eyes are drawn to the 한우 section. 한우 is the Korean name for premium beef from native Korean cattle. Compared to 돼지고기, which is pork, and 수입고기, which is imported beef, 한우 is considered a delicacy and commands a higher price. If someone treats you to 한우, they are definitely showing you a good time because ordering 한우 for a meal is like opening their wallet for a special feast. Today you're celebrating, so it's a 한우 day. You guys decide to order beef loin or 등심 and tenderloin, known as 안심. Let's start with 등심. You want to order 3 people portions, which is expressed as 3인분. 3 is 3 and 인분 is the classifier for food portion. So it would mean 3 portions. You also want to order 2 people portions of 안심 or 안심 2인분. 2 is 2, 인분, the classifier for food portion. So 2 people portions of 안심. Did any of you, by the way, notice that we've switched to the Chinese number system by using 2 and 3 for 2 and 3 instead of 둘 and 셋, which are native Korean numbers? If you did, nice catch. This is an excellent example that shows what I mentioned earlier. Some classifiers are paired with Korean numbers and others with Chinese origin numbers. The classifiers for people and glasses and bottles, 명, 분, 잔, and 병, are followed by Korean numbers, while 인분, the classifier for food portions in terms of the number of people, is to be combined with Chinese origin numbers. Don't you love the variety of the Korean language? If we can't hate it, let us embrace it. Repeat after me to order 3 portions of beef loin and 2 portions of beef tenderloin, all in 한우. I'll lead you with the English in the first round. loin, 등심, 3 portions, 3인분, and 하고, tenderloin, 안심, 2 portions, 2인분, give in the honorific form, which is commonly used in restaurants when placing an order or asking for something. 주세요. 등심 3인분 하고 안심 2인분 주세요. 등심 3인분하고 안심 2인분 주세요. Now all in one sentence. 등심 3인분하고 안심 2인분 주세요. Well done. Now, your Korean dining table is all set. You've ordered a bottle of wine and some delicious Korean beef 한우. It's time to toast your promotion and enjoy your special feast. 건배 or 위하여. Cheers! And on that happy and celebratory note, I'll end today's lesson here. Please review the key phrases by listening to this episode again and be ready to use them on your next visit to a Korean restaurant. One final note. We have a lot of coming announcements and changes happening this summer with Essential Korean. So if you want to stay updated, be sure to sign up for my newsletter, Case Corner, on our website. I include a Korean lesson every week, and that will be the first place we introduce special events and promotions. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and I look forward to connecting with you next time. 고맙습니다. Stay healthy, everyone.